welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. I'm Nivedita Raje, your legal reasoning expert, and this is the last lap to your exam, CLAT 22, and we are going to discuss the revocation of offer and acceptance, a very important topic of contract law. Good evening, everyone. How are you all? Hi, hello. How are you? So, what's happening? I don't think today we are going to face any technical glitch. I hope we don't. Good evening, good evening. I'm doing pretty well, thank you so much. I mean, every day there is a pseudo rain which does nothing to the heat outside, but hey, it is rain. I'm good. How are you all? Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the last lap of CLAT 22. How is your preparation going? Is everybody well prepared and confident? Even if you're not, even if you are a little confident and even if you are a little scared, that works. A little fear and a little insecurity just before the competition is not that bad. It actually tells how much you really care. So don't worry about it. So अगर डर लग रहा है और ये सब बातें आ रही है दिमाग में, so don't worry. It's very natural. You are a child after all, and you're facing a national level competition. A little bit of fear is absolutely logical and expected, right? If you're not scared, something is really wrong with your head. That's okay. A little bit of stress works. People actually work better in stress. Like I respond well under stress. That's not a good thing, but that's how things are with me. Little confident and a whole lot scared. It would work, Violet. It would work. Not a bad combination. So revocation of offer and acceptance is something that we are going to study today. Now everybody should know that these are extremely important concepts. Hello, buddy. So now the thing is that what we discussed in the first session of last lab, in which I gave you the entire percentage of what are the most important topics, contract came out to be the most important one, right? It is the most asked topic in all law entrance exams. If you consider the last 10 to 5 years of question papers, contract law is one law which is asked the most. उसमें से सबसे ज्यादा principles निकल कर आते हैं, ठीक है? और जो क्लैट का जो पैटर्न है उसमें सबसे ज्यादा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट और टॉर्ट ही फिट होता है. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डज फाइंड अ प्लेस, बट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डज नॉट फाइंड दैट मच प्लेस, राइट? प्लीज टेल अबाउट जामिया लॉ. व्हाट अबाउट जामिया लॉ? दिस इज वेरी वेग. व्हाट एग्जैक्टली अबाउट जामिया लॉ? क्वेश्चन बहुत गलत हो रहा है. मे बी यूर नॉट इंटरप्रेटिंग द क्वेश्चंस राइट. यूर नॉट गेटिंग द crux of the passage. That is why you're getting the questions wrong. Okay, so should we start or should I tell you first about what is Jamia law? What exactly about Jamia law? How to get into it? There's a separate exam for Jamia, right? There's a separate exam for Jamia Millia Islamia, and the legal section of that college focuses upon principles and fact-based questions. So any guide, universal or anything would help you. ठीक है, चलो अभी शुरू करते हैं. Let us start. Now offer. What exactly is offer? Offer actually is the first stage of an agreement. That's how an agreement begins. That's how the entire Indian Contract Act begins. It begins with an offer. So there is a person who expresses that he wants to do something for another person. So there is a willingness or a desire to do something for the other person, right? And that willingness, that desire to do something for the other person is expressed. Buddy, I want to give you the most expensive car on this planet. Will you take it? Now this expression, this willingness becomes an offer. In simple words. So this is obviously not an offer. Basically, whenever a person expresses his desire to enter into a contract and expresses his desire to do something or not to do something. That is what we call an offer. So if a person A asks B that I am willing to sell my house to you, do you accept? That is an offer. So here the party A is offering B to sell his house. Right. If B accepts this offer, are you sure I'm ready to buy your house? If this offer is expressed or accepted by the other party, we call it acceptance. So as soon as the offer is accepted by the other party, the Indian Contract Act labels it as an acceptance. As soon as an offer is accepted, buddy, you are trapped. जैसे ही एक ऑफर एक्सेप्ट हो जाता है, आप एक ट्रैप में फंस जाते हैं, फिर वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बन जाता है और आप उस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट से बाहर नहीं निकल सकते. अगर ऑफरी जिसने विलिंगनेस एक्सप्रेस की थी, द ऑफरी हु expressed his willingness to do something, he cannot back out after his offer is accepted. After the offer, sorry, not offeree, offerer. After the offerer accepts what was offered to him, he cannot deviate. Sorry. He cannot go back on his words. He has to accept the offer and do whatever that his acceptance requires. Got it? That is what offer and acceptance are, and these are the most crucial points or essentials in, yeah, I know, in a contract. So the contract actually starts with an offer and an acceptance, and rest of the qualifications make it a contract, like a legally binding instrument. So as soon as an offer is accepted, we call it a contract in simple words. ठीक है? Because generally all the qualifications like the majority, the capability, the legal capability, the possibility of performance, the clarity in a contract, the consideration, the object, every essential that revolves around a contract is already there. That is there. The contract generally happens between major parties. The fact that a minor is offering something, it becomes a rare thing. So we do not talk about a rare thing. We talk about what happens in general. Right? So as soon as an offer is accepted, we call it a contract as long as all the essentials getting fulfilled. Yep. Anybody, any doubt till now? किसी को कोई doubt? ऑफरर वो है जिसने ऑफर दिया, ऑफरी वो है जिसने ऑफर को एक्सेप्ट किया. ठीक है? और ई का फर्क है, सब जगह यूज होता है ये. लेसर, लेसी, बेलर, बेली, प्लेजर, प्लेजी, एटसेट्रा. ठीक, तो अपनी तरफ से विलिंगनेस को एक्सप्रेस करने वाला ऑफरर कहलाता है और ऑफर को एक्सेप्ट करने वाला ऑफरी कहलाता है. ओके, अब बात ऐसी आती है, ए offers to sell his house to B, right, at a certain price. The house, the locality of the house, the area, the dimensions, the area in which it is located, everything is clarified, and he has offered this house to B. He has offered to sell his house to B. Now, if B accepts this offer, both of them enter into a binding contract wherein A cannot sell his house to anybody and B cannot deny buying that house. He has to buy that house. That is the binding nature of Indian Contract Act. If in case any of these two parties do not do what they promised each other that they would do, it would result in the breach of contract, which would entail damages. इन दोनों पार्टीज में से कोई भी पार्टी अगर वो नहीं करती है जो इन्होंने कहा था, जो प्रॉमिस किया था कि ये करेंगे, तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ब्रीच हो जाता है, और जैसे ही कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ब्रीच हो जाता है, आपके ऊपर एक सिविल पेनल्टी या फिर डैमेजेस इम्पोज कर दिए जाते हैं. गॉट इट? ठीक है. अच्छा, नाउ द प्रॉब्लम दैट सराउंड्स इट इज, what if A offers to sell his house to B, but on the day he makes this offer, he has a second thought. People in the market are not talking good things about B. Everybody says that he backs out on his promise, he is never good with credit, he never pays on time, he is not a reliable person to enter into business with. Now, all these things confuse A, and he's already made an offer. Now, the question that we are going to discuss in this session is, can A revoke his offer? Can A somehow cancel or nullify whatever he offered to B? Can he just say, B, I don't want to sell you my house anymore. You're not a good man, dude. So, can he do it? Does Contract Act allows him to do that? Anybody? Is retraction allowed? क्या? What did you say? जो मैं कह रही हूँ वो बताओ. The answer to this is, of course, exactly, yes. Yes, he has a liberty. No, he has a liberty to cancel what he said. Definitely, he does have a liberty. But the liberty is very limited. There is a certain window given to an offerer to revoke his offer. If he cancels that offer in that given window, we call it no contract. Very good, Gauranj. There you go. Exactly. So if for somehow the offerer is able to withdraw his offer before it is accepted, then the contract is not concluded. If the offer is accepted, there is no going back for the offerer. He cannot go back on his word. He has to now sell his house to B. But the limited window is the window of acceptance. The time which the offeree takes to accept the offer is the window that is given to the offerer. जितना time offeree लेता है offer को accept करने में, वही विंडो है ऑफरर के पास उस ऑफर को कैंसिल करने के लिए. एक्सेप्ट होने से पहले, ऑफर के एक्सेप्ट होने से पहले अगर ऑफरी रेवोकेशन कर देता है, ऑफर को विड्रॉ कर देता है, तब फिर उस ऑफर को रिवोक्ड माना जाएगा. That is one mode. ठीक है, there are several modes. So one mode is if the offeree is able to cancel his or withdraw his offer before it is accepted, then we say that the contract is not concluded and it is not binding on the offeree to perform that contract. Another way is if a limited time window is given to the offeree, not I keep getting confused. Before acceptance, that is when we actually should stick to this time. Now, who actually sends letters and telegrams? Indian Contract Act was drafted in 1872, wherein there was no other means of communications except telegrams and post. So that is what they have considered. But this is a new digital age where people can talk through phones and emails, send texts, and the conversation is instant. Nobody has to wait for anything. You can ask a person instantly and expect an instant reply also, right? In the modern world. So we're not really talking about the age of telegrams and post. Although the Indian Contract Act is still not amended to cover the new digital age, but it is devised in a manner कि उसमें सब कुछ आ जाता है, नई टेक्नोलॉजी भी आ जाती है. So if you go by what is written in the Indian Contract Act, they say that if the post of offer, like if the information of offer or if the information of revocation reaches before the person accepts the offer or before the person puts his acceptance into transmission, then the offer is revoked. तो अगर एक ऑफर, क्योंकि उस जमाने में चिट्ठियां चला करती थी, तो इससे पहले कि ऑफरी अपनी एक्सेप्टेंस की चिट्ठी को पोस्ट करे, तुमने उस तक कैंसिलेशन की चिट्ठी पहुंचा दी. तो इससे पहले कि वो हाँ बोल पाता, तुमने पहले ही मना कर दिया. तो ऑफर कैंसिल हो जाएगा। फोन ईमेल वगैरह के जमाने में भी यही चलता है, इससे पहले कि वो हाँ बोले तुम पहले ही मना कर दो, तो उसके हाँ बोलने का स्कोप ही खत्म हो जाता है, क्योंकि अब वो हाँ बोलेगा किस चीज के लिए, तुमने तो स्कोप ही खत्म कर दिया, right? So this is how offer can be revoked. Another mode is the limited time or the mean or the way of acceptance. So if there is a time given for acceptance, for example, let's say that A offers to sell his house to B, and he tells him that I'm giving you 10 days for consideration. After 10 days, if within 10 days if you do not give me an answer, I shall consider this offer as withdrawn. सो 11th डे पर अगर बी कहता है कि हाँ भाई मैं तुम्हारा घर खरीदने को राजी हूं, और ए कहता है कि बहुत देर हो चुकी है, मैं तो सी को पहले ही बेच चुका हूं, तो ए पर कोई लायबिलिटी नहीं आएगी। क्यों? क्योंकि उसने 10 दिन का टाइम विंडो दे रखा था, उसने पहले ही कहा था दैट आई एम गोइंग टू वेट फॉर यू फॉर 10 days. If within 10 days within 10 days you accept the offer, well and good. If not, then the offer is cancelled automatically. Since he replied on the 11th day, the offer is deemed to be cancelled because there was a limited time given to him. हाँ बिल्कुल, if the time has not been given, yes, Satyam raises a very valid point. If a time is not given, that A just asks B that you take your time, it's okay, it's a big decision, buying a house property is not a small decision. Talk to your elders, talk to your wife, talk to everybody who is important, and then let me know. Now this man takes a year. This is an unreasonable amount of time. So a reasonable waiting is okay. Right, if it takes 5, 7, 6, even 15 days to consider whether he wants to buy that house, then it is reasonable. But after that reasonable time, he cannot expect that the offerer would be waiting for him. What if he sells the house within the time limit without buyer's response? Then he has violated the contract. What will happen if he posts the acceptance but does not reach the offerer, but he posts the rejection? I'm coming to it. I haven't started with revocation of acceptance. Right now we are only discussing revocation of offer. I'll come to acceptance also. Right. So did you get it? So if there is no time limit given, the person is expected to reply within reasonable amount of time. And the reasonable amount of time would depend on the promise, right? It doesn't matter, Ayushi. What age are we sticking to? What age are we talking about, Ayushi? I mean, your questions make sense, but think about it. Do they make sense in this present era? Do they? I mean, you're talking about postal, telegram, etc. Who uses post offices? Who does that? Nobody does that. So these questions actually become redundant. Although there is a provision for this in Indian Contract Act, but practically they do not apply anymore because nobody is posting their offer anymore. Okay, nobody posts their offer and acceptance. They use phones or computers, right? Are you getting? Or they meet in person. The world is small, है ना? Yes. Another method of revocation of offer is the mode of acceptance. So if the offerer has laid down a certain mode of acceptance that if you want to accept the offer, you do this. Like take the example of Carlyle versus Carbolic Small Ball Company. Now there was a certain mode of acceptance that if you do what is prescribed by the Carlyle Carbolic Smoke Ball Company, then we would assume that the offer is accepted. That's how a general offer is accepted, right? But if you do not follow what is given to you, it automatically means that the offer is withdrawn, that you have not done what the offerer asked you to do. So if there is a mode of acceptance, if you are prescribed a certain way of accepting, you have to accept in that particular way only. If you do not do it, then the offer is withdrawn. So let's take for example A. यार तुम लोग गूगल कर लो, तुम वो चीजें गूगल क्यों नहीं कर सकते हो? हर चीज मुझसे ही क्यों पूछनी है? There are some things that you can find out on your own. In instead of disturbing and interrupting me in between the lecture, these are some things that you can very much find out on your own, can't you? फोन वगैरह तो सब है ना, फोन से ही तो चल रहा है ये सब कुछ, है ना? So for example, let's say that A offers to sell his house to B, but there is a certain way that if you stand outside that temple at 4 a.m. and shout at the top of your voice that A is the best person on the planet, and you keep doing it for 30 minutes, then I will accept that you have accepted the offer. तब मैं मान लूंगा कि तुमने ऑफर एक्सेप्ट कर लिया है. तो अगर बी के सामने ये अनरीजनेबल absurd कंडीशन रखी गई है, तो वी हैज टू डू व्हाटएवर has been asked from him, and then he can accept the offer. Are you getting my point? So if you are given the conditions to accept the offer, you accept the offer by following those conditions, whatever they might be. X sends an offer to Y via email 10th June, revokes his offer on 11th June. Both the emails were seen by B on 13th June. What will be the status? The status is withdrawn. Obviously, what is so complicated? This is the easiest way of revocation. The offer is not accepted. The offer is not accepted. Okay, so before he could accept, the offer was revoked. That is what I have been saying over and over again. Before the person can say yes, you withdraw the offer, and then that's the only way you can cancel the offer. That's the only way. And the other two ways I just told you. Got it? Everybody clear? Revocation of offer. So before the acceptance is complete, the offer has to be revoked by the offerer or the proposer. There is no concluded contract in such cases. The acceptance is completed when the communication is complete. So till the time the offer is accepted and that acceptance has been communicated, we cannot say the offer is or the contract is completed. The offer has to be communicated, or sorry, the acceptance has to be communicated also. That is another condition. Do you remember the case of the horse? Can anybody tell me the name? Mr. Bindley's case? Which case was it? The horse wala case, Bindley ji, auction of horses, etc. No, the horse wasn't dead. He was sold to another person. Feldhaus, guys. Feldhaus versus Bindley. I have taught you that so many times. Feldhaus versus Bindley. So in Feldhaus versus Bindley, the premise that was laid down by the premise that was laid down by House of Lords was this only, that the mental acceptance is not deemed to be an acceptance. You have to say yes. You have to expressly communicate the acceptance. Otherwise, there is no acceptance. So if you have accepted, do not just keep it in your head. Do not keep it as a secret. Let the person know that you have accepted the offer. If you don't do it, we cannot conclude the contract. That is what the case was, right? So until and unless the acceptance is communicated to the offerer, we cannot say that the contract is concluded. So even if in your situation, in your hypothesis, B does accept the offer, but he does not express this communication or this acceptance to the offerer, to A. B ने ऑफर एक्सेप्ट कर लिया है, लेकिन उस एक्सेप्टेंस को अभी उसने दिमाग में ही रखा है, अब ये उसका सीक्रेट है, ये सीक्रेट अभी उसने ए के साथ शेयर नहीं किया है, तो जब तक वो इसे शेयर नहीं करता, कम्युनिकेशन को अपनी तरफ से पूरा नहीं कर देता, तब तक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कंक्लूड नहीं होता। और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का सबसे बड़ा कैच यही है कि अगर ऑफरी ने अपनी तरफ से एक्सेप्टेंस को ट्रांसमिशन में डाल दिया तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कंक्लूड हो जाता है। वो ऑफरर को मिले ना मिले कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, ठीक है। ऑफरर को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के ऊपर कोई असर नहीं पड़ता उस चीज का। एज लॉन्ग एज द एक्सेप्टेंस, द कम्युनिकेशन ऑफ एक्सेप्टेंस इज कंप्लीट एज अगेंस्ट द ऑफरी, we say that the contract is concluded. Got it? ठीक है। अच्छा, now do you understand what the revocation, did you understand the revocation of offer? Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt whatsoever? राहुल, मैं पढ़ा चुकी हूँ, आप प्लीज क्लास को शुरू से देखिए, बीच में आके इंटरप्ट मत करिए। एक ही बात है, पोस्टल में सब एक ही रूल चलता है, सब डिस्कस कर चुके हैं हम। एनीबडी एनी डाउट? आ जाए रेवोकेशन ऑफ एक्सेप्टेंस पे। गुड। नाउ sends an offer to Y via email. Y accepts it before the time of communicating the acceptance to X. Y receives the email. What am I teaching? Do you not understand it? Isn't that what I exactly said? That's exactly what I said, Vishnu. Don't get confused. You reiterating what I have said does not make it a question. Got it? Yes. Now, offer can be revoked. We have established this because acceptance definitely takes some time, right? A person before accepting the offer might consider it, might think about it, might have a lot of confusions. He might have to speak to somebody about it. There might be a lot of things going on in his head before he accepts this offer. So for an offerer, there is a reasonable amount of time to cancel the offer. क्योंकि एक्सेप्टर जो ऑफरी है, जो ऑफर को एक्सेप्ट करेगा, वो टाइम लेगा, वो टाइम ले रहा है। तो जितना टाइम वो ले रहा है उतना टाइम ऑफरर के पास होता है, जिसके बीच में वो ऑफर को विड्रॉ कर सकता है, कैंसिल कर सकता है। बट ये लिबर्टी एक्सेप्टर के पास या ऑफरी के पास नहीं होता। क्यों? बिकॉज एज सून एज ही पोस्ट्स और एक्सप्रेस और कम्युनिकेट्स हिज एक्सेप्टेंस, द ऑफर बिकम्स फाइनल, द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बिकम्स कंक्लूडेड। अब बात यह है कि किसी भी तरह से एक्सेप्टेंस का रेवोकेशन, देखो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट कहता है कि इससे पहले उसके पास एक्सेप्टेंस का कम्युनिकेशन पहुंचे, उसके पास रेवोकेशन का कम्युनिकेशन पहुंचा दीजिए। मतलब वही बात है कि इससे पहले कि वो आदमी हाँ करे, आप उससे ना कर दीजिए तो ऑफर विड्रॉ हो जाता है। एक्सेप्टर के लिए भी यही बात है कि इससे पहले कि उसे पता चले कि तुमने हाँ कर दी है, तुम उस तक ना पहुंचा दो। Before he gets to know that you have said yes, make sure that he gets your no before. Only that is the way you can revoke your acceptance. But tell me practically, is that possible? Whatever means you adopt, whether it is post, in post or telegram, it was possible. Let's say for an example, A posts his offer, okay, and B posts his acceptance. Now after he posts his acceptance, there is a certain confusion. Now he is having second thoughts. He has second thoughts and he does not want to go further with the contract. So what he does is he telegrams or he sends a telegram of revocation first. Now in this situation, it might have been possible because the telegram obviously would be delivered before the post. In this case only the acceptance can be revoked. There is no other way. especially in this digital era. If a person accepts the offer, it is definitely not going to be through a post or a telegram, right? It is either going to be via email or text or anything, any instant mode of transmission. तो आपका एक्सेप्टेंस उस तक तुरंत पहुंच ही जाएगा. टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए कोई ऐसा तरीका नहीं है कि आप अपना डिनायल एक्सेप्टेंस से पहले भेज दें. कोई तरीका नहीं है. अगर तुमने हाँ बोला है तो तुम बाद में जो भी ईमेल भेजते हो वो उस ईमेल के बाद ही जाएगा. तो एक्सेप्टेंस को रिवोक करने का कोई तरीका नहीं होता. समझे? अभिषेक, डोंट पे अटेंशन टू हिम. दीज आर सम मिसक्रिएंट्स. ठीक है, जिनके पास जिंदगी में कुछ करने को नहीं होता. इनसे ज्यादा खाली कोई नहीं होता. इनसे ज्यादा कोई, मतलब दे हैव अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. तो बेचारे टाइम को कैसे यूटिलाइज करेंगे दूसरे का टाइम खराब करके. तो इन सब चीजों पे ध्यान मत दिया कर, है ना. सड़क पे भी आप जब चलते हैं तो कितनी सारी गंदगी वगैरह दिखाई देती है. अब सबको देखने बैठेंगे तो रास्ते तक कभी नहीं पहुंच पाएंगे. डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. Got it? I don't get worried about them. Did you understand or not? So this is what revocation of acceptance is. Indian Contract Act actually took into account the existing means of communication that existed back in 1800s, which was post and telegram, right? So in these two modes, the acceptance could be revoked. That is why the provision was also given. But in this digital era, there is no way you can revoke your acceptance. Now, the ideology behind it, what is the ideology behind it? Think about it. If you go to a shop and you like a dress, okay, there is always a chance that you will find something better. नहीं? तुम कुछ भी पसंद कर लो दुनिया में, चाहे तुम्हें कुछ भी अच्छा लगे, वो चीज कभी भी बेस्ट नहीं हो सकती. हमेशा उससे कुछ बेहतर होगा ही. और अगर तुम्हें ये लिबर्टी दे दी जाए कि तुम एक दुकान पे पसंद आया, नहीं और बेहतर देख लेते हैं, वहां पे इससे भी कुछ बेहतर मिल सकता है, उस पे उससे भी कुछ बेहतर मिल सकता है, ऐसे तो तुम कभी कुछ खरीद ही नहीं पाओगे. If letter of acceptance and revocation reaches at the same time, then the contract is accepted or revoked. Well, practically it is not possible. I mean, this is the most far-fetched hypothesis ever. ठीक है, लेकिन अगर at the same time पहुंच जाता है तो इसका provision मुझे भी देखना पड़ेगा. That's a good question, Manish. ठीक है, I think it is considered to be revoked. फिर डेट देखते हैं, डेट ऑफ पोस्टिंग और टाइम ऑफ पोस्टिंग. आई थिंक उससे कंक्लूड करेंगे कि अगर डेट ऑफ पोस्टिंग किसी तरह से आगे पीछे थी और वो किसी मैजिक की वजह से दोनों साथ पहुंच गए हैं, तो जो पहले पोस्ट किया गया उसको कंसिडर किया जाएगा ऑब्वियसली. तो एक्सेप्टेड होना चाहिए. ठीक है, तो भाई एग्जैक्टली अभी तुम अगर कंसिडर करो कि आई लाइक दिस, यू विल नेवर बी एबल टू शॉप. यू विल नेवर एवर बी एबल टू शॉप. व्हाई? Because you will never be sure, and that is why the finality was given as soon as the acceptance was given. Acceptance was communicated. That is why to hold the sanctity of a contract, ठीक है, टू होल्ड द सैंक्टिटी ऑफ अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, वरना एक आदमी कभी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में एंटर कर ही नहीं पाएगा. अगर आप उसे अपने एक्सेप्टेंस को या ऑफर को बार बार रिवोक करने का ऑप्शन देते हो तो वो हमेशा यही सोचता रहेगा कि खरीदूं, शायद इससे बड़ा मिल जाए, शायद इससे सस्ता मिल जाए, फिर तो कभी कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आएगा नहीं बीइंग में. इसीलिए एक्सेप्टेंस के बाद कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को फाइनल मान लिया जाता है ताकि लोगों को अपनी वर्ड पे कुछ वो हो, ठीक है, ठहराव हो, सो दैट पीपल कैन स्टिक टू देयर वर्ड्स. Got it? Is everybody clear? Concluded contract would be revoked with a further communication of revocation. No authority can show how such a contract can be rescinded or revoked by an act of communicating the revocation after sending the acceptance. English law में mention किया गया है कि भाई कोई authority नहीं है जो mention करती है कि आप after you have sent the communication of acceptance आप उसको revoke करेंगे कैसे, क्योंकि जब भी करेंगे वो बाद में ही पहुंचेगा. अभी मनीष की क्वेरी काफी लॉजिकल है, अगर दोनों साथ ही में पहुंच गए तो क्या होगा? तो भाई जो पहले पोस्ट किया गया होगा वही माना जाएगा, एक्सेप्टेंस ही माना जाएगा, साथ में अगर पहुंच गए तो भी। When does the knowledge of acceptor matter in revocation? The offer is deemed to be final as soon as it comes to the knowledge of the acceptor. ठीक है, तो अगर ऑफरर ने ऑफर को पोस्ट किया, ठीक है, ऑफर को पोस्ट करने इससे पहले कि पोस्ट उस तक पहुंचता उसने फोन करके मना कर दिया कि सर ऑफर नहीं, मैं विड्रॉ कर रहा हूं ऑफर, ठीक है, तो अब ये ऑफर उसकी तरफ से कुछ हो नहीं सकता इसका, मतलब अब वो एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि ऑफर खत्म हो गया है। तो ऑफर का एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफर का कम्युनिकेशन पूरा हो जाता है जैसे ही वो एक्सेप्टर की नॉलेज में आता है। दैट इज व्हाट द नॉलेज ऑफ एक्सेप्टेंस इज। सो एज सून एज द ऑफर कम्स टू द नॉलेज ऑफ द एक्सेप्टर, the work of the offerer is over. Now it is on the acceptor to accept the offer. That's how we would now see whether the contract is. Wow. Contingent contract is a contract. Yes, Rahul. Contingent contract is a contract that is ancillary to the happening or non-happening of a certain event. For example, insurance. So the entire insurance contract revolves around the contingency of untimely death. एक आदमी जिंदगी भर इंश्योरेंस का प्रीमियम भरता है क्योंकि एक सर्टेन कंटिंजेंसी रहती है उसके दिमाग में कि अगर मैं अनटाइमली मर गया तो मेरे पीछे मेरी फैमिली का क्या होगा, ठीक है। तो अगर वो अनटाइमली कंटिंजेंसी, वो एक्चुअल अनटाइमली डेथ हो जाती है तो कंटिंजेंसी पूरी हो जाती है। तो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर मतलब इंश्योरेंस के एजेंट, इंश्योरेंस कंपनी के बीच में और उस आदमी के बीच में जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हुआ होता है वो एग्जीक्यूट हो जाता है। जो लंप सम अमाउंट जिसे इंश्योर करवाया गया होता है वो फैमिली को मिल जाता है। दैट इज कॉल्ड अ कंटिंजेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, जो एक सर्टेन इवेंट पे डिपेंड करता है कि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होगा या नहीं होगा। वेजरिंग कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बेसिकली शर्त, अगर आप शर्त लगाते हैं किसी से तो उसको वेजर कहते हैं और ये एक अग्रीमेंट वॉइड अग्रीमेंट कहलाता है। इट इज नॉट रिकॉग्नाइज्ड इन द आईज ऑफ लॉ। एवरीबडी, एनीबडी, डाउट? Communication of notice of revocation by the proposer to the other party, but the lapse of the time prescribed in such proposal for its acceptance, जो कि मैं बता चुकी हूँ। If no time is prescribed by a lapse of reasonable time without communication of acceptance, by failure of the acceptor to fulfill a condition precedent to acceptor. Can an offer be revoked by a notice? हाँ, मतलब that's notice is giving information. Bani, what do you think a notice is? Do you mean that English notices that you need, that you used to draft? We're not talking about that notice. Notice को literary terms में लो बच्चे। Notice का मतलब है information पहुंचाना। जब आप उसके Can an offer be revoked by notice or death or counter offer? नोटिस का मतलब है इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंचाना, दैट इज इट। अगर डेथ हो जाती है और डेथ का इंफॉर्मेशन या डेथ का नोटिस एक्सेप्टर तक पहुंच जाता है, इससे पहले कि वो एक्सेप्ट करता उसको ये पता चला कि ऑफरर की डेथ हो गई है, तो ऑफर ऑटोमेटिकली रिवोक हो जाता है। अगर उसके एक्सेप्टेंस के बाद उसे पता चलता है कि ऑफरी की डेथ हो गई है तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाता है, ठीक है। काउंटर ऑफर का मतलब है कि अग्रीमेंट बना ही नहीं, ऑफर एक्सेप्ट हुआ ही नहीं। ऑफर प्लस अग्रीमेंट, सॉरी, ऑफर प्लस एक्सेप्टेंस अग्रीमेंट बनता है। ऑफर प्लस काउंटर ऑफर इक्वल्स टू नथिंग, ठीक है, ठीक है। बानी नागिल, देयर इज नो डिफरेंस, there's no difference, Vaibhav. It means one and the same thing. General offer, universal offer means that the offer is raised to the public at large, not to a particular individual. एक ही बात है, दोनों का एक ही मतलब है, ठीक है। By death or insanity of the proposer, if the fact of his death or insanity comes to the knowledge of the acceptor before acceptance. जैसे कि मैंने बताया, अगर एक्सेप्ट करने से पहले एक्सेप्टर को पता चल जाता है कि ऑफरर मर गया बेचारा, तो ऑफर ऑटोमेटिकली विड्रॉ हो जाता है, ठीक है। और जैसे कि मैंने बताया, अगर उसने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया और बाद में उसे पता चला कि अरे ऑफर ही तो मर गया, तो फिर क्या होगा? कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ही फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाएगा, फुलफिल ही नहीं हो सकता, राइट? So that is what mode of revocation was for offer and acceptance, guys. This is the upcoming, these are the upcoming sessions on 23rd May, that is tomorrow. KD sir is going to revise the CR concept, structure of the argument, and on 24th you would understand the importance of time management. On 25th you are going to revise the assumption based questions. 26th I would be giving you the tips to maximize your score in legal reasoning. क्या आप कर सकते हैं कि आप लीगल रीजनिंग में सबसे आगे निकलें, तो वो सब हम डिस्कस करेंगे 26 मई को. बट मैम बोथ आर क्या इन डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस? वैभव बच्चे कौन से मॉक में? मॉक्स हमेशा एकदम सही नहीं होते हैं, गलती हो जाती है लोगों से भी, एक ही चीज है, ठीक है. इफ द ऑफरर गॉट द एक्सेप्टेंस ईमेल ऑफ द ऑफरी, मिल तो गया, पढ़ तो लिया. तो यार एक्सेप्टेंस का मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ संदीप, आप ना मेरी बात को समझने की कोशिश करिए. तुमने एक्सेप्टेंस को पढ़ लिया, तुमने उसे देख लिया, उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. तुमने एक्सेप्टेंस पूरा करने के लिए उसे कम्युनिकेट करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है. तुम्हें हाँ बोलनी पड़ेगी. तो पढ़ने का ईमेल सामने आ गया, डिलीट हो गया, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. डिलीट हो भी गया तो भी तुम हाँ बोल सकते हो, और अगर तुम नहीं बोलते कुछ तो वो ऑटोमेटिक कैंसिलेशन है बच्चे, ठीक है. दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. रीड फेल्टहाउस वर्सेस बिंडले, दैट शुड क्लैरिफाई योर डाउट. गॉट इट? हाँ मैं देख लूंगी, मैं देख लूंगी. लाइफ इंश्योरेंस इज अ कंटिंजेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. कीर्ति ऐसा हो जाता है, अक्सर हो जाता है. इट्स नॉट अ बिग डील. दीज क्वेश्चंस आर प्रिपेयर्ड बाय ह्यूमन बीइंग्स ओनली. सम ऑफ देम आर फ्रीलांसर्स, तो वो बहुत गलती कर देते हैं, ठीक है. Okay guys, that's it for today. So do not forget to join us on ALET 22 live analysis with top faculty on 26th June, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Follow us on BYJU'S Exam Prep Law. Like us on Facebook. You can also join our Telegram channel and do download our app on Google Play. Everybody take care. We shall meet again on 26th. तब तक सब अपना ख्याल रखेंगे और फिर हम फिर से मिलेंगे. कोई बाहर मत जाओ, बहुत ज्यादा गर्मी हो रही है. यू कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू फॉल सिक एट दिस टाइम. सो टेक केयर ऑफ योर हेल्थ. बी प्रिपेयर्ड, बी कॉन्फिडेंट. इवन इफ यू आर स्कैर्ड, जस्ट डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. टेक केयर. गुड नाइट.